right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight to Global Impact. I'm David Markwell, and you are with us on the show again tonight on Global Impact. Thank you so very much for viewing. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for taking your time to be with us today. It's going to be a great time. Thank you. So we are looking forward to having a wonderful time as we look again at the subject of dirty jobs for better lives. Many people assume that college is the only way to succeed in life, and that if you had no opportunity to go to college, or even you went to college and didn't do well, then you are doomed. But actually, nothing can be further from the truth. You know, life is precious, life is great, and great opportunities await you. If you can just take your time and look further, there are so many options. God has given us so many options. And we as believers, Christians, we need to know that it's the blessing of God that makes life better for us. It's not just college. And so many people have gone to college and never used what they learned in college. And many people went to college who never succeeded or never completed, and they are doing very fine today. And surprisingly also, there are many of our world's billionaires and millionaires who either dropped out of college or never went to college, but they are employing hundreds of thousands of graduates every day and paying them. You know, so it's not just college. There are many options, many things that you can do, and I'll be right back with you just in a moment. So please don't go away.
Global Impact at TC. Oh my word! On Global Impact at TCN with David McQuell on Global Impact TECN TV.com.
Yeah.
And with David McQuell on Global Impact at TECNTV.com.
TECNTV.com.
Hello everyone, this is Global Impact with David McQuell, your host. Isaiah chapter 2 verses 1 to 5 says that a time is coming when the church will rise in authority and influence and dominate the earth. And many nations will come and say, teach us the ways of the Lord. Global Impact is a show that inspires you as a Christian to rise up through the values of the kingdom of God and shine as light wherever you may be. We believe that missions is no longer limited to some isolated, unreached community in some dark continent. The church should reach out to all aspects of life, including politics, business, science and research, the media and diplomacy, and every aspect of human life. Join us on Global Impact, Monday through Friday, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 6 p.m. GMT. Global Impact is broadcast on TECNTV.com. Join us.
All right, so welcome tonight again as we look at daily jobs for better lives. Again, like I said in my introductory monologue, I said that your future is not just, assured just because you went to college. Of course, many people know that, and many people don't know that. When we were children growing up and we had our parents shouting at us, you better go to school, you better do well in school. If you don't do well in school, you don't have a future. Well, that's half truth. That's really half truth. It's true that you should go to school. It's true that you should work hard. But the essence of going to school is not just so you can have a future. It is so you can be enlightened, well educated on how to cope in life. But we know that many other things that you have to deal with in life and many skills that you need to survive in life are not taught in school as subjects. For example, endurance. For example, determinations, courage. They are not subjects in school. They are not things that are taught in school. You can teach. There is no subject called encouragement, and there is not subject called hard work. There's no subject called, determination. No, they are not subjects. They are not. There's no way someone is going to teach you even financial management. There's just no way they teach you a lot how to make money, but they never teach you how to spend your money. You have to learn those skills in life. You have to educate yourself, otherwise you will make a whole lot of failure. Many people have won these state and national lotteries in many countries, and they make a lot of money all of a sudden. Some of them sleeping under bridges and living on the streets. And suddenly they find out they are 50 million rich, they are $100 million rich, or $500 million rich. And then what happens? Shockingly, after a few years, they are back on the streets, all the money is gone. So it's not just the money, it's adult education, it's learning in life, learning vital lessons, important lessons in life. So if college is not a guarantee, thing about success, then how do we succeed in life? And so the options are very many of them, really, many of them. Many people who have gone to college and graduated don't have a fine job. And many other people who graduated from colleges and are working are not happy at what they do, because it looks like they were forced to go and do it. Yesterday I gave you a beautiful story of a young man I met years ago back in the mission field in the Ivory Coast. He was a hairdresser. It's incredible that he studied this in a college in the United States. And he came back to Africa by accidentally, not by force, accidentally by force also. And he was abandoned in Africa, but he came with his tools, very handy. And this guy was making money, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. He was making six figures, I tell you. He was making six figures. As far as I know, a large number of the staff in the U.S. Embassy, he was their barber, and the French Embassy too, and many other embassies you can imagine, and also local clients, people all over. He was working nearly 24 hours. He had to actually run away to go and sleep somewhere. Otherwise, he will not be able to sleep. And you know what will happen? He will end up killing himself. So, what happened? He went to school. His parents forced him to study medicine. He went and switched to what he wanted, what he really liked doing. What he really liked doing was hairdressing. And he was one of the best hairdressers that has ever been. And I don't know where he is now, but I believe that wherever he is probably very rich from what he did. And I asked him, I said, Jay, hey, are you planning to go back to the United States? He said, no, I don't want to go back. He said, it's a great place, but I had very bad friends that influenced me, and I don't want to go back and meet them again. I'm making a decent life here. I'm actually really making a good life here. I'm focused, and I seem to know where I'm heading to. And that was incredibly great. So that is why we are talking about this subject. That's why we are looking at this subject. Dirty jobs, the jobs that people consider dirty, they are considered dirty not because they are dirty, but because they don't give them that office feel, The young people, when they are growing up, they want to go to school, they want to graduate, they want to be doctors and lawyers and sit in beautiful offices behind the desk, in air-conditioned office, wear nice designer suits to office and come back. Many people, especially here in Africa, that's the definition of success in many cases. But that's not what it is. I remember an in-law of mine, a man who is married to my cousin. Many years ago, he was a driver in a brewery. So he was driving around certain states and delivering beer. And one day after having driven for many years, driving this long trucks for many years, he decided he was going to retire. And he was going to do something for himself. And he began a poultry farm. You would not believe that in less than 5 years, he was a millionaire. He made so much money. He delved into block making and many other things. And today he is really, really a very, very wealthy man. And he has all that he wants. His children studied abroad. and he built a fabulous house, really a very, very wonderful, fabulous, house, and all that happened because he never had a chance to go to school. His parents were poor in a village and never thought of him going to school. Never sent him to school, and he went to the city and tried to be a driver, and then from there he thought about starting a poultry farm, which turned out to become a huge success. So he didn't go to college, but some of his staff that work for him are graduates who've graduated from college, and so it is really incredibly great, to have to do things like that. Of course, a poultry farm is not a clean job. You don't have to wear suits and tie to go to the farm. You wear your overall, you wear boots, and you go out there with gloves and work hard and get dirty and sweat. But at the end of the day, he makes millions. He is enjoying his life. He's having an honorable position in society, well respected, a great a great person. So it is really very important for us, and for you, that if you don't have to, if you go to college, even when you went to college, that's not what do you call it? That's not a certificate, a guarantee that you're going to succeed. At the same time, that also doesn't mean that you're going to fail. In other words, whatever you are doing, if you don't feel that you are not in the right place, that you should do something different, then you should go for it. Don't hang in there, don't stay in there as if you are by force, you must be there. No, you don't have to be there by force. I'll be right back after this break.
Thank you. Hey, I'm Ken McClinton, the host of the Exceptional Conservative Show, live for the nation's capital. I love this cat, the Exceptional Conservative Show cat, Jacob. We love you, and we want you to know we love the fact that you watch TECNTV.com. As chairman, founder, and president, we wish you much love and much affection. I love you. I love you.
Hey, this is Pastor Greg right here watching TECNTV.com live and enjoying. You should join me here on ChildrenGenerationRadio.com, and also my other favorite thing, ministering the gospel in India.
Hi, I'm Bob Record, and as you can see, I love hunting. And I also love watching TECNTV.com. Why don't you join me in doing that? But in the meantime, I'm headed back to the field. See you later.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Jones from Beyond the Lines. And when I'm not exploring Los Angeles, I am watching TECNTV.com. TECNTV.com. I love it.
I'm David Makwel. I'm the host of Global Impact on TECN. I'm a missionary in Abidjan, West Africa, working on establishing the largest history center. Whether I'm in the field or I'm working on history, I love TECN TV.
When I'm not making delicious cookies, I'm watching TECNTV.com.
Hi, I'm Randy. I love the golf.
And I love TECNTV.com.
Everything that's reported on television isn't always true. But it should be. NTD, the power of truth. Now available 24/7 on television and streaming platforms.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Yesterday we watched a video, and I really, this video, PragerU video, really articulates the point that I'm trying to make. It is really a great video that tells a great truth, and I would really love you to take it sometime. Take a jotter, a book, notebook, and a pen, and really write down very fast. If you're a fast writer, write down some things very important that you would learn from here. The point is this, that you are so endowed, you are so gifted, you are so blessed by God. And because of that blessing of God upon your life, you are so versatile, you are gifted in every way, in every direction. You can actually do much more than you think you can do. You are blessed. You are not a failure. You are not a follower. You are not someone to keep, going along, dragging your food and dragging yourself along and grumbling and complaining in life, really. You are endowed by God. You are given great wisdom and great ability, and God put great desires inside of you. If you look inward, you'll find some great desires and some things that will actually really make you exceptional in life. So, looking at this subject that we've been talking about, dirty jobs for good lives, dirty jobs that produce good life, that gives people happiness and make you actually succeed in life. You need to look well at what you do, and sometimes it could be what you are doing that you are not doing the way you should do it, but you should explore your life, really explore your life, look very well and see how best you can actually do, and how best you can exploit the giftings of God and the ability of God in your life, and come out at the top of life, happy, satisfied, at peace, and you will age graciously. That's God's plan for you. That's how you should go about it. And so we are taking the time and looking at this subject carefully, and looking very well at how we can apply what we are learning. So we're going to watch this video again, and the second half we will watch another video. But this video is a PragerU video by Jeremy Bowen. He's the narrator. Really, he's the one speaking. And really, he's the co-founder of the Daily Wire, and he's doing really very well. And so he's sharing, first of all, from his personal experience, and sharing the great American story, how the United States have thrived and how people have thrived within the United States. So take your jotter and your pen and just enjoy and learn.
Maybe the dumbest thing you can do is go to the place that's supposed to make you smart. That would be college. Now, perhaps I'm biased. I don't have a college degree, although I employ a lot of people who do, and from some of the most prestigious universities in the country. I made a conscious choice. I had clear career ambitions, and I didn't see how a college degree was going to get me there. In retrospect, I'm confident I made the right decision. I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of a company called The Daily Wire. We publish news and commentary from a conservative point of view. We have well over 100 employees and an audience which numbers in the millions every single day. Now, I don't have a problem if you go to college. It's a free country, do what you want. But the idea that somehow college is the great pathway to success and fulfillment, that I don't buy. The left takes a different view. They are obsessed with higher education. To them, it's a human right, and they want it to be free, which just means paid for by people like me, for anyone who's 18 and can breathe. That makes perfect sense from their point of view. One, the idea is a big winner among young people, a critical voting bloc. Who doesn't want something for nothing, especially something that costs more than a Ferrari? And two, colleges exist to do one thing: create conformity of thought. And since college professors and administrators overwhelmingly lean left, It's a pretty good bet most of their students will as well. But I'm being unfair, you say. After all, we live in a knowledge-based world, and America isn't making the grade. Don't you know we rank 13th in the world in reading, 18th in science literacy, and a pitiful 37th in math? To which I say, so what? It wasn't Singapore that split the atom, or Estonia that mapped the human genome. America is number 1 in Nobel Prizes awarded, number 1 in scientific citations issued, number 1 in popular entertainment, and number 1 in technological advancement. In short, America creates almost everything. Even what other countries manufacture was probably invented by an American, which is why we're also the number 1 economy in the world by far. And who made this possible? Well, here are the names of just a few of the individuals who pretty much invented the modern world. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Michael Dell, and Larry Ellison. None of them has a college degree. Many of the CEOs who run the companies they created do have college degrees, but the founders do not. What they do have are things colleges can't teach you: curiosity, ambition, and a willingness to fail. Those qualities almost guarantee success. A college diploma doesn't. Want to build an airplane? Engineers educated in aerodynamics are handy to have on your team. Want to invent the airplane? Well, you're better off finding a couple of restless bicycle repairmen. That's what the Wright brothers were. It's not that colleges aren't teaching. It's that too often they're teaching the wrong things, or they're teaching the right things the wrong way. Tech entrepreneur David Gelernter says, "The thing I don't look for in a developer is a degree in computer science." Quite a statement from a man who teaches computer science at Yale. Tech billionaire and co-founder of PayPal, Peter Thiel, actually pays people not to go to college. Thiel and Gelernter understand that colleges are factories, and like all factories, they want to produce a consistent product. That means producing people who all think alike. But innovation and entrepreneurship require people who think differently. Innovators innovate. Colleges teach those innovations after the fact. If professors could have taught engineers how to build the airplane in 1903, professors would have built the airplane before 1903. They would have invented the personal computer, Microsoft, and social media too. And it's not only big tech where this applies. 56% of all small business owners in the United States don't have a 4-year degree. That's right, the majority of small business owners, who employ more than half of American workers, either never went to or never finished college. What all of this says to me is that while college is useful for some people, it's by no means necessary for all. And it's hardly essential for economic success, not for the individual and not for the nation. No one is being deprived of the opportunity to succeed simply because they can't afford a university's steep price tag. In fact, if you go to college, there's a good chance you'll be taught how not to succeed. If I were you, I'd think long and hard before paying for that. I'm Jeremy Boring for Prager University. Thank you for watching this video. To keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.
Wow, that's incredible. That's truly, truly incredible. Actually, 3 points out that he brought among many other things, that he brought out to light here. He said that while college may be useful to some, it's by no means necessary for everybody. Yeah, there are some people that will do very, very well if they go to college. For example, our doctors, our lawyers, our engineers are people that have to go to college. They have to go and learn. They have to go and learn how things are done. They have to go and learn how their skill develops through time, through a lot of rigorous education. Yeah, so I give it to them. They need to go to school. They need to work hard and give it their best. And we need those who excel at it to actually succeed, in college. And you will encourage them to do that. You will encourage all our scientists to actually study hard. You will encourage all our teachers to work hard, to study well, and to give it their best, put in their best, so that they can stand tomorrow and secure our society. That's absolutely true. However, there are many other things you could do that you don't need a college degree. You don't need to go to college and get a university degree. No, you don't have to. It's not it's not a prerogative for all of us. You find out that in many families that those who go to university are more honored than those who didn't go. Why is it so? Some parents kind of treat their kids who have graduated from college more special than those who refuse to go. Now, just because a child refuses to go to college, to university, does not mean that he's a failure. Couldn't be good for him, probably not working for him. I was watching a documentary of Akiana, the fine artist, and the mother said when she homeschooled, and what she did was she selected the subjects that she wants to study on her own and just did them, didn't do everything. She didn't do mathematics, she didn't do any other things. There are many subjects she didn't do. She just selected the subjects that were good for her and she studied them, got her certificate in it. After all, she doesn't need it. She doesn't need it. She's already a success. She's making so much money and they are living a good life without even going to school. So education was basically for enlightenment for her, and it wasn't just for success. Again, he also said that a college degree, university degree, or whatever you call it, is not an essential for economic success, because there are many graduates who struggle all through their lives. And there are many people who never stepped into university who have great economic success. That's really great. That's really true. And then he said, no one is being deprived of the opportunity to succeed simply because he couldn't go to university. You are not being deprived of the opportunity to succeed because you didn't go to university. I know many people who are intimidated when they come among people who are graduates in the university and they start talking about their school days. And you kind of feel intimidated. You don't have to feel intimidated. That's not the guarantee for success. That's just human prestige. But listen to me, you can succeed in life. You can make a good living. You can live a good life even if you never went to university. That is not the guarantee. That's not, and just that you were not, your parents couldn't afford, or you were an orphan, or you couldn't go to school, go to university, it doesn't make you in any way inferior to anyone who went to any university who has a PhD. Never, in no way. So you shouldn't be intimidated, shouldn't let anyone harass you because you are not incapacitated, you are not independent, you are not deprived of anything. You are just fine. If you can just weld your way through life, if you can just navigate your way through life, you will make good success and even better than those who went to college. I'll be right back after this.
What happened to the church? To the living, powerful, transformative, nation-shaking Christianity?
What they're trying to do is completely demolish Western civilization and then to rebuild it in a just society.
How do you break down American Christianity?
I think the problem today in our culture is many of our words have been co-opted and stolen and dumbed down and reversed.
Social justice is sold as something that it isn't. Critical race theory is sold as something that it isn't.
Whiteness has caused blindness of heart. Whiteness has caused blindness of heart.
When you preach victimization, it always leads to vengeance and vice. Us against them, me against you, I want my pound of flesh.
American churches today are where the universities were 10 years ago. Pretty heavily Marxist. They're not quite there yet, but they're well on the way. Many of the seminaries and Bible colleges are definitely already there.
That message that they're going out and taking the world is not, you need to repent of your sin, receive Christ. Instead, the message that you actually have is they are under the weight of racism or sexism or homophobia, and then we need to unify them together.
I'm gay, I'm 29, I'm a youth pastor in New Jersey.
I'm straight, and I'm also a youth pastor in New Jersey.
We're planning on sharing life together for the rest of our lives, which we're not totally sure what that looks like. Obviously, Nick is straight, and he does plan on getting married. When he has a wife one day, she'll make those decisions with us.
The future damage of what we're doing now is just going to be enormous.
The entire fabric of family, personal wealth, private property, all those things are out the door. And everything is the state. They believe the state is God.
They don't define justice the same way as the scripture.
Oh, no. It's going to be an equality, all right. And it's going to be a totalitarian Marxist justice.
Dreams are potential seeds. They need someone to believe in them. They need someone to finance them. And they need someone to embrace them. Partner today with the World Mission Center, Abidjan, the Ivory Coast, and help us win Africa for Christ. Welcome back to the show. Welcome. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Really appreciate you. We hope that you are learning something and that you are getting inspired. That's our goal, to bring the values of the kingdom of God on the world stage and to inspire you to be who God wants you to be. We are driven by those goals, and we are making every effort to see that that is realized. So we're talking about some of the greatest things that really God has endowed upon us. You know, and then Jeremy Boring said, no one is being deprived of an opportunity to succeed in life simply because they didn't go to college, you know. And again, no one has been given success on a gold platter simply by going to college. You can go to college, you can get a degree, and yet fail in life. Many people fail in life, even though they are college graduates. In fact, most people, when you get out of college and you begin to work, you forget that you went to college, you know, because of the challenges of the work. So it's absolutely important for us to look at that. So it is important to see that God has endowed man. You know, when I look at scriptures and look at history of humanity, I mean, I'm just amazed at, you know, the ability that is in man. Hey, the universities and colleges that we have today, most of them were founded by people who didn't go to college. Have you sat down to think about that? Many of the long-lasting companies that we have today, companies that lived over 100 years or more, many of them were started by people who never went to college. And many skills that we use today were developed by people who never went to university. You know, there are people just who put in, and then in those days, if you really look at university back 200 years, 150 years ago, 100 years ago, universities were not as rigorous as it is today. What they taught in school, what they knew at that time, could not be compared with what a lot of knowledge that's available today. Yet these people excelled in life and did so well. The Wright brothers didn't go to university to develop aviation and flying. No, they didn't. You know, and a lot of things that have been invented and discovered in the past didn't come from people who were university graduates. So in you, actually, there is a great wealth of wisdom, knowledge, of ability inside of you that you can actually use to make life an amazing thing. You know, an amazing thing. So we have a video, another video here, really beautiful video. I enjoyed it. How to start in the skilled trades. You know, if you notice what we are actually talking about, we're talking about skilled trades instead of university certificates. Skilled trades, you know, trades that you can learn, like carpentry, like farming, like gardening, like decoration, interior and exterior decors, you know, like catering, you know, and so many other things. There are so many other things you can do without having a college degree. You can do a lot of stuff. You can do a lot of things and earn a decent, good living. In fact, earn a lot of money without even going to college or even outside your college degree. So it's really important for us to understand that, and we're going to look at that shortly. Please again, take your jotter, your notebook and a pen, and take down some notes. Right back.
How did I get into the skilled trades when I had no skill? Welcome back to the Handyman Business YouTube channel. Today we're discussing the fourth most asked question, and that is, how do I get into the skilled trades when I have no skill? I don't know anything. I'm 17, I'm 18, I'm 19 years old. That's the age group of the guys who are asking this question. So put quite a bit of time into this video. Got a dry erase board up here filled with notes. I got my laptop open with all sorts of statistics from the Department of Labor and the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I'm going to put these links in the description so you can further your own research into what trade you should focus your attention on. I'm going to rely on my experience as well as the real data to give you an idea of what it's like out there in the real world in construction. I do have to set some parameters for my knowledge base. It's mostly residential construction in a larger metropolitan area. Another thing that needs to be stated up front, residential construction pays the least. You can work in commercial construction, highway construction, industrial construction. There's all sorts of construction. Residential construction, that labor pays the least. It's what I do. It's what I've been in my entire life. Except for a short stint after I graduated college, I went into construction project management for commercial construction. There are skilled trades that most everybody knows about, and it's usually residential trade work that these young guys are familiar with. Link will be in the description. I'm going to run through the list real quick, and the first half is going to be all trades that have very low wages, and I don't recommend it. I'm going to be referring to the statistical data to give you reasons why those are the lowest paid. I'll also give you a map. First bit of trade work pays the least, and I don't suggest you go into it. If you are in it, don't take offense. This is just the numbers. It's just the numbers. Earthwork on a residential lot doesn't pay well. You'd think it would, but it doesn't. Foundation and masonry work doesn't pay well. Framing, roofing doesn't pay well. Siders doesn't pay well. Insulation doesn't pay well. Lowest paying jobs is drywall. Can you believe that? Yeah, drywall. We'll get into why in a minute. Painting, trim work, flooring, countertop installation, all low paying jobs. We're going to move into jobs in a minute that you can be self-employed and make a good wage and have a good quality career. You won't hate your job. It won't be horrible. The next set of trades I'm going to tell you pay more, and there's a reason they pay more. So it's going to be an electrician, a plumber, an HVAC technician, high-end woodworking, high-end trim work, higher-end tile installation. That's different than just flooring, tile flooring. Like if someone wants to put tile floor in a house, that's different than some custom tile work in a higher end home. You don't have a skill set, and maybe you think you do, but it's not documented. You don't have hours towards a certificate from a accredited trade school or community college. So when you go out calling up electricians, plumbers, saying, hey, I'd like to be an electrician or a plumber, they're going to say, okay, what type of experience do you have? And you're going to say, none. I know nothing. I want you to teach me. And they are required by law to pay you a certain minimum wage. And a lot of them won't do that anymore. They will not take someone who has no experience and pay them their required dollar figure, because you're not worth it. You won't earn that money until you at least have 1 year experience. That's why a lot of these guys are finding it very hard to get a job without at least 1 year experience. With 1 year experience, you would at least come in at like a break-even point, and that employer knows that you are committed to that trade, you've done it for a year, and you want to further your career by being employed by them. I started out with 0 documented experience. I had been paid under the table in high school to do some general construction labor, some minor electrical work in high school, but it's not documented, and I didn't have logged hours to prove to people that I was worth something. I'm going to get to how I created some value for myself to sell myself to an employer to actually get hired like that at the end of this video. But first, we do have to break down why I said that drywallers make the least amount of money. The guy who owns the drywall company is not who I'm referring to. As I stated earlier, the U.S. Department of Labor and the Bureau of Labor Statistics logs all this stuff, and they put it into graphs, they put it into pie charts, they put it into maps. A lot of articles are written based off of these statistics. Put it into words that most people can understand. They got their pie charts. This one here is interesting. This chart here, again, this will be linked in the description. This basically, it lists out construction occupations, the total number of people employed in those construction occupations, and now this is where things get a little touchy. There are foreign-born laborers and there are native-born laborers. This is where people are going to get really offended, but it's real words used by the federal government to categorize all this. So foreign-born labor in construction works for 32% less than a native-born construction laborer. Across the board, whether it's a drywaller or a framer, foreign-borns work for less, 32% less. There's another factor in what you will get paid in your specific trade, and that is, did you graduate high school? So what percentage of that labor pool is a high school graduate? So you can quickly scroll through here. I want to point out one important one here. Electricians jumps right out at you as you're scrolling through here. Only 16% of electricians are foreign-born. Only 9% of electricians did not graduate high school. That is going to increase the wages for that pool of labor. Another one that jumps out at you real quick is drywall installers and tapers. 49% of the people who do that work are born overseas. 44% of that labor pool did not graduate high school. The larger the group of guys that didn't graduate high school and the larger the group that were born overseas, the lower the wages are in that trade. So what you want to do is skip all that. Get to the trades where you can make the most money. And if you graduated high school, you should not be focusing on the lowest trade. Here's another interesting statistic. Building inspectors, only 10% are foreign-born and only 3% don't have a high school diploma. These are real numbers that a lot of people get offended by. Now, there's a map, a good map. So there's a lot of native drywallers, and they're very proud of their drywallers and their natives. This map right here, color-coded, will tell you where they do not live. They don't live in Texas, they don't live in California, they don't live in Florida, they don't live in New York. Where they could live and make some decent money: Maine, Vermont, Connecticut, Montana. Why am I kind of focusing on this native versus foreign-born? It's because of what they're paid. It's the wages that labor pool gets paid. 32%. It's a big number. This has been around and logged for over a century. All the way back into the mid-1800s, there was a battle, literally battles in the streets. Native-born construction labor force versus foreign-borns. Irish and Englishmen were the foreign-borns back in the mid-1800s. Once you get your skill set and some years, you want to get out of production. Production is monotonous, it's repetitive, and it pays lower wages. Your next step is to move into the service industry. Staying with residential, servicing plumbing, electrical, HVAC are the three main service providers in the skilled trades. Now there's some more specialty residential services that I like. I've always thought about getting into, and that is surface repairs. It's more of like, it's kind of like doing body work on a car. So someone says, I've got a chipped tub and I want it repaired, or better yet, I want the entire tub resurfaced. There is a huge demand for having tubs, bathtubs, resurfaced and refinished. Another major surface repair industry is the countertops. Solid surface countertops are always getting messed up. Granite, quartz, corian, they always need repaired. And that is kind of an artistry, but it's not back-breaking work. It's something new every day, and it is in that service industry. And best of all, it's great for self-employment. You don't need to have a huge crew. You charge $100 an hour. That's not my numbers. I'm not in the business, but I know people who are in the surface repair business, and it is $100 an hour. My story: how did I get into the skilled trades when I had no skill? I couldn't find a job. I responded to a lot of help wanted ads for electricians. A lot of them wanted experience. I applied anyways, didn't get any jobs. So what I had to do is create some value to sell myself to these potential employers. I took 2 courses at a local community college, an accredited community college that's recognized in the state as being the largest community college. They were courses in electrical. They focused mostly on commercial electrical work as an electrician, and I took both of them at the same time. Like Section 1 and Section 2 simultaneously. So within 1 semester, I had 2 certificates attached to my name. And now when I applied for a job, I could say, hey, I've got these certificates from this accredited community college. What that showed the employers was that I was committed. I had put up my own money towards this trade, towards this career, and that I had some understanding of how to do things, and that I was less of a risk to just sign on for 2 or 3 weeks, a month, and leave because I wasn't committed to it, or I didn't know what I was getting into. That is a good way to get into the trades, is go to trade school and get something on your resume. Now, another way is you got to know somebody. Ask your family friends. Do you know anybody that works construction? I want to get into the skilled trades. You will start by pushing a broom. You will start by unloading and loading the truck, the trailer, or the van. You'll be hauling around materials, and the longer you stay doing that, the more the company that you're working for will train you. You'll be picking up knowledge just by watching it and working with the materials and the tools. And they'll start having you do more and more and more as time goes on. That's how it works. You don't just have zero experience, jump into the tools the first day of the job. It just doesn't work that way. This has been my experience. Obviously, I'm going to source all my information and statistics in the description so that you can read firsthand about these wages, construction wages. But I also want the guys who watch this channel that have experience, that have gotten into the skilled trades, who have a successful career, or who are also self-employed and making good money. Please leave your recommendations in the comments below for these young guys who want to get into the construction industry and they have zero skills. Zero experience. They don't even have tools. When I started, I didn't have tools. Is it in here? No. My first electrician's belt I still have. I was required to buy only Made in America tools. They did loan me tools for the first 2 to 3 months, and then I was required to start buying my own tools. That's another commitment to the trade and to the company. You were willing to go out and purchase $200 in tools to do the work. Goodbye.
Everything that's reported on television isn't always true, but it should be. NTD, the power of truth.
Dreams are potential seeds. They need someone to believe in them. They need someone to finance them. And they need someone to embrace them. Partner today with the World Mission Center, Abidjan, Ivory Coast, and help us win Africa for Christ.
Hi, I'm Pastor Greg, host of the Chosen Generation Radio Show, heard on the Truth Broadcasting Network and seen on TECNTV.com Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern, where I discuss today's most important issues through a biblical constitutional lens. TECNTV.com appreciates our partnership with NTD, and we'd love for you to give our great programming a view. That's TECNTV.com, Chosen Generation Radio with Pastor Greg. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you so very much. That was really incredible, the handyman. I love this, free teaching that he's offering, to help young people. But, it's not just young people. At any time in life, there are people that have grown up and when they were younger, they had a great skill. They knew how to knit, they knew how to do many things, and probably because of the career they followed, they just forgot about that gift. And they could be really skillful in it. You could be even singing, And but now that you are grown older or probably retired and you don't know what to do, it's really incredible that you can go back to the things that you had really loved to do, your passions, I see lots of soccer players, and when they retire, they begin to go into boxing or they go into other things that they had passion for when they were younger, and they couldn't do because of their career, and now they are doing it because they love to do it. People going into acting, people going into many things. There are lots of skills, the skill work that you can actually do. And if you had something that you were really passionate about when you were younger, you don't have to throw it away. You don't have to forget about it. You can actually still realize them. You can use them. If you were into painting, you were into flying, you were into so many other things, you can still actually do them. However, this video, the handyman was talking to young people who couldn't go to school, people who don't have any, who are so discouraged in life and think that, hey man, I can't just make it. I couldn't go to school, or I went to school and I fooled around and couldn't continue. And whatever it is, or some kind of tragedy, I became a teen mother, or whatsoever it is. But actually you can really, we can do a lot of stuff. Especially that 1 year of apprenticeship that he talked about. For me, I think it's a good investment. If it's going to take you 1 year to learn a trade that will take care of you the rest of your life, I think it's not a waste of time. I don't think it's a long period of time. I think you should make that sacrifice and go out there and learn and, use that 1 year to really learn the skill. Love what you do. And wherever you are serving, be committed to it. And everyone there will see your commitment to it. When you are committed to something and you excel in it, everyone will be looking for you. Everyone will be looking for you. So it is absolutely important, really, in this respect that you take your time out, you go out there and explore whatever it is that is the biggest passion of your heart and what you can do. You say, I don't have any passion. I don't know what to do. Hey, find something to do. Start somewhere. Start somewhere. Like the handyman was saying, he had no skill, and yet he decided to develop his skill by serving other people and learning, And look, he's doing well in life. He's really doing well in life. And there are many people also that are doing so well like that in life. So I want to encourage you that all hope is not lost. And that just because you didn't go to college does not mean you can make anything decent for your life. You can actually, I really love this video. I love a lot of things that he said. And look at the statistics. They have great statistics out there. Great statistics to show that, just going to high school can actually improve your life. Just being a high school graduate, high school diploma can actually improve your life, really, improve your life. So it doesn't take a lot, it doesn't take a lot. You can actually make a decent living, You can make a decent living. Those of you that live in the United States where you are paid hourly, you can actually really learn some things and then, go and do some 5-hour job, service in a restaurant, and some, you can just navigate around your life and see how you can start something decent, something wonderful for your life. When you start doing it, it will be difficult, but in the next 5 years, 10 years, you'll be so amazed where you have gone to. You have a decent life. You'll take care of a family. and you will be happy in life. You know. So I'll be right back after this break. Be right back. All right, so welcome back. Thank you so very much for tuning in today, being my guest, being my audience on the show. Thank you so very much. I hope that what we give out could be a blessing to you or someone you know. And life can really be different for people if they just know. Many people it's because they don't know. If you know, life can really, really be different. If you have the knowledge. Knowledge can change a lot about your life and about your position. So I really encourage you, put what you learn to work. Enjoy and be happy with your life. Trust God and look up to Him to guide you, and everything is going to be all right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow we'll be back with another edition of Global Impact. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Bye-bye.